Hi, I'm Chef Darin Sehnert. We're going to do orange flower panna cotta with citrus supremes, and if you're really good, I think we'll throw in some spun sugar for that too.
Cool.
So orange flower water is going to be our flavoring element today. So first off, we need to start off with some water. We have 2 tablespoons of water, and then we have some unflavored gelatin. I want you to just go ahead and sprinkle that into the water.
Okay.
This is an important technique because it's what's known as blooming the gelatin. If you don't get the gelatin hydrated, if we don't allow it to soak up the liquid, then it's going to be gritty and granular when we add it into our hot liquid. It's not going to gel up and set the cream the way it should, and we're going to have a characteristic kind of grittiness that's going to be unpleasant on our palate. So that's why that's important. And what you can do is we're just going to take the spoon and just kind of poke that down, stir that around a little bit. That's good.
Is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
We're just going to set that to the side.
All right.
And then next we're going to take our pan, and you can just go ahead and put that on the burner there. To that we have a cup of heavy cream. You can go ahead and pour that in.
Okay.
And then we have a half cup of half and half. And then we have 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of sugar. So you're going to go ahead and sprinkle that in, and we're going to turn the burner on. We're going to go about medium-high on that. And we need to heat that up mainly to dissolve the sugar, but also it's the heat from the cream that's going to finish dissolving and melting our gelatin later on. Now that our cream is heated up, we've got little bubbles going around the edge, which gives us a good sign. As long as it's hot and the sugar's dissolved, I kind of stir that around to make sure we didn't have sugar in the bottom, then we're okay. Our gelatin has softened, usually about 10 minutes on that is all we need. And you can go ahead and turn the burner off. And what we're going to do is you can go ahead and pull that down off the burner there and set that on the cutting board. And go ahead and scrape your gelatin in. And we're going to add the gelatin to the hot cream. The hot cream is now going to melt that. Now that it's already softened and hydrated, if you add dry gelatin to your hot liquid, it will not soak up. It will just seal the outside and leave it grainy and gritty. So we're going to add a tablespoon and a half of this. You need to plan ahead because this is going to take about 6 hours to get completely chilled.
Okay.
So you want to do this the night before or early in the day.
So you pour it and then let it...
Pour it in. We want to leave about a ½ inch space in there. And then we're going to transfer this to the refrigerator, and we're just going to let those chill.
Okay.
We're going to trim off both ends. Now, just real quickly on the knife, you want to pinch the blade and then wrap the other 3 fingers around that. So I'm going to demonstrate this, and I'll let you try it out, but I'll get it started.
Okay.
We're going to trim off both ends of the orange. Cutting is always a forward motion, so you just want to push forward. So we're just going to cut with the curvature of the fruit. So we're just going to cut, I'm going at an angle, and then we cut downward. If you miss a little bit at the bottom, that's okay. You can always go back and get that again. And we're just going to continue. Each successive swipe isn't as big as that first one. Next, we want to do this part over the bowl because we're going to get a lot of juice coming out. So, see those segments there? We don't want the membrane between. So what we're going to do is basically we're filleting the orange. We're going to slice in, twist our knife, and slice back out. So we're going to glide forward, cut down on one side, twist that, and we're going to slide that out on the other side. Sometimes it's a little tougher. You just kind of have to scrape that off the membrane.
Okay.
Another way to do that is to cut in on both sides.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to top this. We're going to take our panna cotta and just go ahead and we're just going to lay those right across the top. Just in a, I'll do this one and you can do the other ones. We're just going to lay those straight across. And then you can do that one. We're going to do, similar to cotton candy, we're going to do spun sugar, which basically is melted sugar that we're going to cook until it's nice and golden and then slightly cool it down, and then we're going to spin a thread so that we can do this nice little halo of thin sugar strands on the top there. So go ahead and turn your burner on. You want to get that on high. We're going to add our sugar. I'll get that started. You add that a little bit at a time so that we can watch that melt. Okay, when that starts to melt, then we can start adding some more. Now that the sugar's caramelizing, you can see how it's getting nice and clear and golden, and it's starting to smoke a little bit, so that's a sign we're getting a little hot. So we're going to add a little bit more in there. We don't need a whole lot for this since we're only doing a few.
Okay.
So we're going to be fine there. We just kind of take this and kind of drizzle it in the air. That's going to help cool it by getting it out of the pan. We're looking for this to get nice and thick. However, if you're in a hurry and you want to speed that up, what you can do is take a bowl of ice water and just set the pan in there. and that's going to quick cool that down. Now you can see how much thicker that's become. So, and if we need to heat this up a little bit, we can. So what we're going to do is take our fork. We might need to heat that a little bit. And we're going to take this, and you just hold it loose in your hand, and you're going to fling that back and forth across the wooden spoons. That's good. Okay, go ahead and turn the burner off.
Okay.
Now what you're going to pick that up. We're going to just form a nice little sphere of that, and then we can place that right on top of our panna cotta.
Like that?
Just like that. There we go. There you go.
That's pretty.
So take a look at that. So we took a basic dessert, just basic, it was just cooked cream that we thickened with gelatin, and we did that supreme of orange on top, and then some spun sugar, and you've taken something that the basic custard would have been maybe $3.95 in a restaurant, and we've just elevated that to $8.95, $9.95 dessert. And you can do that at home, right?
Yes, I can do it at home.
Okay, great, good job. Thanks for joining me
Thank
today.
you.
It was a lot of fun.